The organization, MetroWest Center for Independent Living, got its beginning in around 1990. We were the 10th center created, and currently we have 11 statewide. Our mission is to help individuals to make the choices they want to live in the community.
I have mental health issues, schizophrenia and bipolar, and I was trying to deal with all this at the same time as I was diagnosed with cancer. And they just walked with me one step at a time, and everything sort of fell into place.
He was homeless for years, and we were able to help him get Section 8 very quickly, framing him having to have a lot of vouchers all of a sudden, and he received one and then helped him to get an apartment.
I was born premature in Pigeon Toe, and at that time the doctors, for what they know, they did what they could do. And basically I was told practically all my life that this is a situation, you live with it. Over the years, my muscle mass was growing stronger than most people, and it was putting pressure on the spine. I went to the clinic at MetroWest, and in the old days they didn't have people that, they didn't know enough about this, but now they do.
When I was 23, I was at the University of Miami, and then that's when the illness or disability struck me really hard, where my speech, my balance, everything shut down.
I don't think a lot of people even think about how do people with disabilities function in the community unless and until it hits them directly.
As the Advocacy Director here at MWCIL, I work with other disability commissions, making sure that, there is a ramp to get in to a building that's been just constructed, or make sure there's curb cuts when there's new sidewalks being put out. It is so important what we do here to help. We work with 26 communities right now, surrounding towns. We have helped people that they came in for health insurance reasons, for Mass Health, come to find out after a little more research that they were homeless.
A lot of my consumers have been in the nursing home for a long time, that they lose their housing, so they have nowhere to go. And because they have nowhere to go, they're practically homeless. So they are stuck in the nursing home for a lot longer time than they originally anticipated. It is my job as a transition coordinator to try to look for an affordable apartment for them, depending on what their budget is, and apply to several places for them to transition.
I was doing rehab, recovering from an abdominal aortic aneurysm, which only 1 in 5 people survive. And they reached out to me, and I'll tell you, they've been just like angels, like guardian angels.
I try to help and work together with the consumers in the nursing home to understand their options and gain anything that they would need in order to move home. Trying mostly to help the consumer and teach them that, everything that they've been receiving in the nursing home, we can also work on that in the community, getting them all those things in the community, but on a more personalized level.
Once I got out of the nursing home, I wanted to do as much as I possibly could. But MetroWest Center for Independent Living has really kind of made that happen for me.
To be disabled is not to be unable. It's more about, with your disability, using the great adaptations of equipment and resources that can help an individual live a full and fulfilling life as they express for themselves.
Each person is completely different with their own issues, their own disabilities, their own needs. Everyone's skills are totally different. We can find anything for them that they need. Maybe they don't have access to the computer and that's the only issue they have. They can come here and together we can, find these things.
They give me the tools that are very useful that I could use every day, like getting me a scooter. That's a great way for me to get out there, to go to school or go to the mall or wherever.
MetroWest has been a great help for me. I probably couldn't have done half of it without them. I mean, they're your best friend, and they just give you the direction to get things going.
We're here to give them the tools to achieve their goals, to solve their issues, their problems, give them their options, and yet we're a team. We're really a self-help center. We're really giving the tools if you want them.
I really wish people knew that as soon as you decided that you need any type of help figuring out what resources you have for disability, whether or not it's even an emergency, MetroWest Center for Independent Living isn't just we find you things that you need for the big picture. It's every part of life.
They just took us up, a bunch of us up to Gardner. Just the fact that you're able to get out on a nice day and you know, meet other people, you know, similar people, and just, you know, share experiences with them, and a little bit of fellowship as well. It's a nice feeling.
It's a whole new world for each of them, and I'm trying to help them get their goals completed.
We provide, as core services, information and referral, peer counseling, independent living skills training, and advocacy, both individual and systemic. We're getting a fifth core service called transition, and the feds have defined that as helping people get out of nursing homes, which we've been doing for years. Also helping people stay out of nursing homes, which we've been doing for years. And also working with young adults, which we had just gotten funding for that.
TAP is a free program for youth with disabilities between ages 14 to 22, still in high school. So they might be looking for jobs after high school, or preparing for college, or preparing to live on their own. Referrals can come from schools or in the community or different families, and I can work with youth either at the center or in the schools or in their homes.
We see the potential for working with the youth as really important for us both to reach a larger community, but second of all, more, I think, important for me is that this is how we're going to tap into our next leaders.
It's about empowering people who can't figure out how to do it on their own. And as a team here, we can get that empowerment going and help them, you know, in the community find what they need.
When someone asked me, what is your job? I said, it's like social work with an attitude. And that attitude is that I'm not going to do it for you. We're going to do it together, whatever it is that you want to accomplish.
I grew up afraid of addressing my disabilities, and the center has just made it possible for me to accept the fact that I need help, and that there's help available.
You can never give up, no matter what. Just keep going with the tools you have. Keep going forward. That's all there is to it.
We all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and for some it's more than others, less than others. They're different. That's the bottom line. Just imagine truly what a world would be like if we could look at each person and celebrate and utilize their ability, and that's what the center is trying to do for people.
If you need help, you know, and you have a disability, call us and we'll help figure out what your choices are. And then obviously we want to encourage you to make your own choice.